Hey guys, we are here. We're at the second game of the semifinals for Warhammer Conquest.
In the semis.
In the semis. My name is Steven.
My name is Robert.
Hello, Robert. We have Kenny Tam on the left. We have Ryan Graham on the right. Ryan, actually from our store here in Tulsa. Super excited to see him get into the top four here. As excited as he was.
As excited and surprised.
And you'll notice he is actually using our war tokens, which is phenomenal. Thank you, Ryan.
And wearing our shirt.
And
a little dated, but that's okay.
If you guys dig those tokens, we got them for sale on the website.
They're called war tokens.
Now let's get into this thing. We got Kith's Chimera Masters, a very classic bit of, strategy, if you can call it that. We got the Pack Master doing all sorts of things, just putting Chimeras all over the board.
What can you call that?
And Cardini's answers. And Cardini's are going to be important in this matchup. AoE versus these Chimeras.
Did somebody say Cardini's?
Very important.
One of my favorite words and units in this entire game. What a value.
The old Cardini's.
A 1/3 with a command icon with AoE 1 for what, 2?
We're gonna have to
Unbelievable.
We're gonna have to really get our minds right here because First Planet is at the top of the screen.
That's right.
Whereas I'm used to it being at the bottom.
A beautiful Tricon planet.
Which means we have Maxos over here on the fourth planet. Really interesting for me. This is a great unit to have in, the thick of everything. And so to have him on the fourth planet, really interesting. I would prefer to see him a lot closer to the action. As it is now, he might just sit there for the rest of the game until he can get moved by an effect or otherwise just, find the battle, eventually get to him. And we have some command struggles resolving here. Of course, Kith leading the way usually likes to choke out resources and cards.
That's
or
right.
One or the other, depending on what kind of a opposition we have. And of course, you've got the old standby Cato Sicarius. Kill a unit, get a resource, playing the fundamentals.
A tale as old as time.
Top four, yeah.
That's right.
But this means essentially our top four looks pretty nice. We've got Ragnar and Cato, so 2 Space Marines. We've got Dark Eldar's Kith, and then we've got Eldar's Eldorath Starbane.
Oh, Eldorath.
So a pretty good spread. I'd like to see a little bit more from the other side of the wheel, but you know what? We ain't seeing any orcs. Although there was an orc in the top 8, I believe.
That's correct.
I think Nazdrug made it the top 8.
I want to see some more chaos action, honestly, and Tau, for the love of Tau and the greater good. Let's see that happen.
Yeah.
We had a small earthquake at GenCon this year.
Here, guys, getting a good shot.
You notice the players are unfazed.
And this is called keeping your cool under pressure. Ryan attacks, and it is shielded.
Whoa!
2 shields there.
With a raid.
Chimera doing 2 to the Cardinis.
Not my Cardinis!
Gonna take it.
They have no choice but to.
Ooh, custom painted there.
Man.
War tokens. Look at that.
Ryan has a very
There's the Klavex War Leader comes in to kill. And, man, the Cardini's not standing a chance here.
That War Leader is just the bomb.
And that's going to mean Cato's going to be taking some damage here.
Ooh.
Or not. Indomitable prevents 3. And then the Chimera Master is going to do 1. That's going to give Ryan a chance to retreat here.
That's right.
But my goodness, does this board look awful.
It does. Ryan has been checked hard at this first planet. I'm not sure how he can maintain position. Yeah, he's pulling back.
But still, looking at the end of this resolution, has 1 planet or 1 unit on the board. No battle abilities 1, and his Warlord taking 1 damage. So this is not a good first turn for Ryan.
No siree, Bob.
1
and
card at
yoinking
random
a card.
Comes out from the hand. Siege Force can rout an ally. Could take care of that Rogue Trader.
What
but
is next? Oh, man.
Questions are asked.
I can never pronounce that
Yvarn.
planet. Yeah, okay. Yvarn, is that how it comes?
Yvarn comes into play there.
Sounds like some old world person's wife.
And that's a potentially interesting choice for Ryan here.
Yvarn.
Go over there, you can drop in a planet for free into your HQ, and who knows, man, if he's sitting on some kind of a land raider or something, it's not a bad way to get caught up in what was
in a jiffy.
Pretty bad first turn here ultimately.
Yes it was. Quite horrid.
But at the same time, Kith with 4 resources.
Ain't too
Ryan's
impressive.
got 5. He really needs Cato to start to do some work. And again, we're going to see Maxos here. I really would like to have seen him on an earlier planet so that he could really use that ability, start popping guys out so he can make an offensive
blitz
challenge.
Yeah, man.
Or defensive, depending on what's needed.
I think he could go O. Go heavy on that O, the offense.
Yeah. I would do it.
He could. He has the potential. Oh, man. Some bikers.
White Scar's going into planet 4 here, and I continue to look at this, and I'm like, does Ryan think that first planet is on the left here, on the bottom of the screen?
It's possible. It's very possible, but
There's no way that happens at this level.
I would assume not. They don't have a first planet token anywhere, which may contribute to some general confusion.
These are, they think, we're in the top 4. Everything's fine. We know where things
know
are.
what's happening.
We got a reader here, Ryan, reading the Mercenary.
What does that card do? Now, there are a lot of philosophers, gaming philosophers, who say RTFC is the name of the game. You can never quite be too sure, but then again, shouldn't you already be sure? We're just pulling at Ryan's leg
I don't
here.
know, man.
We know this guy. We're going to tease him a little bit.
Talon Raiders going into Planet 2. And, man, a love-hate relationship I have with those guys. Anything with printed attack 0, got to be careful.
You do, because
it can find itself awfully worthless.
Yeah, very much worthless, and I've seen that any number of times already.
You've seen it a lot when you're playing me.
Old Steven likes to run those very oddly, what do you call those, situational cards, which kind of goes
I sure
against
do love them, don't I?
a lot of his philosophies.
Let's face it, it's 1 cost, 1 command icon. That's really what
How
we're
do you
playing
say
the
no
card.
to this? It's a very good deal.
And look at the resource gain by Kith over
Kith
here.
is swimming in it.
Now, on the other hand, Ryan gets a good number of cards. And so we have a pretty good spread here. Ryan's got a ton of cards.
But he can't play any of them.
Kenny's he's got 7 resources.
He at least has some balance here.
Who's gonna make it out on top? We have a very significant resource choke going on, and I think against the Space Marines, if you can choke out their resources a bit, they can fold up.
Yes.
And
now,
we may be seeing that right now.
Cato should be able to rise above that to some degree, but he actually has to kill something to do that. And he hasn't done that yet. Didn't kill a single thing that first turn.
I'll tell you what, he's in a good position right now to make that happen. He's got White Scars getting pumped, and he's got Cato there to make a swing. He could see 2 resources out of this combat right here.
And that would be enough for a drop pod. Well, not anymore. He just spent that last one.
I think he just suffered a...
he yoinked it.
Suffered a yoink.
He got it yoinked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's even worse.
You don't
Didn't
want to
even
suffer
get to
a yoink,
spend it.
man. You got to watch out there.
Yoink.
Yeah, there it goes.
Yoink is a technical term to consult your player's manuals there. It's whenever you just take something of your opponent's.
Oh, and there you go. Talon Raiders.
Man, rout.
And the rout happens to White Scars Bikers, and now everything has changed
Yes,
here.
Cato
Ryan is in a
stands
bad
alone
way.
again.
Does he
goodness.
stay committed to try to get some resources, or does he run away?
You have to
and
assess.
Try to not get damaged.
What are these resources worth to me? Am I willing to take 2 damage to get 1 resource on my Warlord?
And we could presume even that we got shields in hand over here on Kenny's side of the board. So
That's right.
That's scary, man.
That's right.
I'm scared, and he's
going
he's
for the
gonna go
swing.
For it. Chimera, we've got the shield.
Oh, no.
Shielded 2.
Oh, no, Ryan, no.
Cato is set up here for some destruction. 2, and he uses the Iron Halo to
shield some of it.
that one out.
Mm-hmm.
And then swings with more coming in. And does he have to retreat here?
I think he does. I don't know if he can gamble on another turn like that where Cato does none damage. Oh, no.
5X comes in straight up.
He definitely can't now.
Doesn't even need to trigger his ability.
Nope.
And 3 resources. Indomitable prevents it all. Thank goodness.
My goodness.
Or did he just use that? I think he just used it as a shield.
Just shield, yeah, because he had no monies.
That's right.
Oh, no.
Cato goes home. Man, this...
How sad. And then yoinking a card on top of it all, an honored librarian to boot. That's just tragic.
I'm going to tell you guys, I can't even really kind of imagine how much worse this could be going.
For old Ryan, near and dear to our hearts here.
1 unit on the board, and
he's getting
Kenny
wrecked.
Just locking this down. Absolutely locking this game down.
This is what Steven usually likes to call a clinic.
This is a clinic,
and
yeah.
it's very much that. Man, I think it's kind of a foregone conclusion. I don't want to put the writing on the wall just yet, but it's hard to come back from situations like this. In a Visions of Agony.
Visions of Agony going to take a card out of hand here.
Man, talk about just when you have the money, spend it. Find that most treasured card of theirs.
I'm quite curious, actually,
and
what he's
yoink
going
it.
to take here.
Consult your manual on the official wording on that term.
He chooses to go to the Daring Assault Squad. AoE 2, of course, knows that could wreck these Chimera's day.
My chimeras.
But, man, I also, at the same time, kind of want him to spend 4 on that right now.
Yes,
Like,
that would
dare
be
you.
awesome.
Yeah, just put 1 more unit on the board.
And then 1 and pass. I'm going to win this game with only 4 units. 3 if you don't count the Warlord.
You know, and I think after that first turn, Ryan actually was in a position where he had to make a bit of a gamble there.
Yes, he did.
to make sure that it was going to at least maybe try to catch up in that game. I just don't know, man. It's one of those situations you look at and you say, it all is not good.
I mean, there are Hail Marys and then there are Hail Marys, and he would have to go with the latter if he was going to have any chance. But I just don't think he had the tools. He didn't have the resources to execute that kind of maneuver.
I'm trying to find a strategy here, Robert.
I don't think there is one. I think this is one of those no-win scenarios. Oh, man, Cardinis. If anything's going to turn this game around, it is the Cardinis.
Let's get some Cardinis. Let's get an AoE 1.
Deploy
at least
the
drop
Cardinis.
Out some Chimeras.
Oh, and it's suffering.
Now
What a demoralizing card right there.
That's actually one for the viewers. Quite interesting. Getting -2 attack to the Cardinis.
Won't affect the AoE.
I don't think it affects it.
I don't think so either, because that's an ability, not an attack.
There could be weird things, because I've seen some rulings on it being treated in different ways, the AoE ability. So.
Oh, really?
I'm actually, you know what? I'm going to do a little digging here.
Consult your manuals, everybody. It's probably not there, and by manuals I mean Google. It's a verb now, and a business.
It's a verb and a business. How can we be that? How can you covenant something?
How can you covenant something? I don't know.
I guess it's just kind of a promise.
Leave us a comment if you have an idea of what the verb form of covenant would be or should be.
Yeah, and it can't just be a promise.
Can't just be a promise. We got
that.
That's the literal application here. All right, so here we go.
I guess we're deployed. To find out if this AoE works.
Yep. Boom. So we're going to have it looks like a fairly straightforward battle here at the first planet. Those Cardinis.
All right, so AoE not affected. As we suspected. Good rhyme there. Takes one. And Kenny using our war tokens as well. Well, thanks, man.
What?
That's great. Look, and he's done something really clever here.
They're beautiful.
So I remember seeing this, and he was
painted
playing,
his skull white.
No, he didn't. He left the protective paper on.
What?
And took it only off the edges.
That is a slick move. Yes, so these come to you with a protective covering, so they arrive in pristine condition, and it's easy to peel off, but you can leave some of it if you so choose.
Yeah, that's very cool.
That is a very
unique
clever move right there. Very clever. More damage coming out.
And then the old Cardinis, their suffering is ended.
Their suffering is ended.
They go right home.
An interesting play to put suffering on the Cardinis anyway, assuming that I would AoE irregardless, I think is a word.
Yeah.
We're talking about words here. Irregardless. Oh, man, the assault team, one of my faves. Certainly Stevens.
It's one of my favorites, but I always cut it.
I always got it. I love it, but
every
you got
time.
to go.
Look, just dropping
shields everywhere.
He has seen 3 raids here. 3 2-shield raids that he's just had the answer.
Ryan is probably out of options at this point. Whoa, no, an eager recruit follows up.
He has a ton of cards, and Kenny at this point is running out.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
2 to the war leader.
And shields for days.
Shields again. And this is the thing about these Kith decks. They don't actually need a lot of units because they're putting Chimeras into play every turn.
Yes, and they swing for 2, guys.
So they can put their deck full of events, attachments, and shield cards so that they can do these kinds of things and keep themselves protected. Really, really crazy to watch this in action. And Ryan basically choosing, is he going to drop something else in? Can he? Will he? Kenny obviously knowing that this is going to happen.
Oh, he knows it.
He saw the hand earlier.
He saw it.
He knows what was in there.
And knowing is half the battle.
If not most of the battle.
So said Captain Planet. Actually, that's not true.
That's not true. Thanks, Robert.
That's not true at all.
And
misinformation for days.
If you'd like to hear more lies about your childhood, assault Robert directly.
I played so much Pokemon, it will make your head spin.
An absolute lie. I know that one for sure. All right, and here we go. We've got a Planet 1.
Oh, goodness.
By the old Dark Eldar.
We're at game point for either a red or green planet. So Ryan's going to have to defend doubly hard for those. He can let a blue slide through, though, this next first planet. But everything else counts.
Everything else counts. And now we're going to start working on old Maxos.
Maxos, he's just going to have a hard time here,
He's
man.
Done nothing
He's
all
been
game,
hanging out, drinking his daiquiri.
He's done
and
nothing.
Not killing in the name of the Emperor, which is a mistake for any, honored brother veteran.
I would say so.
In this universe, in this time, in that day and age.
All right, so now Ryan's switching his strategy up, and this is correct. He's going to try to kill Kith here. I think that's ultimately what he's gonna attempt to do.
That is about all he has at this point, honestly.
And he's gonna need some tools to do it here, to be honest with you.
Yes, he's gonna need some cash and some cards,
But
and a lot of
Kith
them.
is sideways now, so if we got a couple eager recruits here, this offensive starts to look really good.
Yes.
There's 2 damage from the eager recruit.
But
and
man, shields everywhere.
Yep, got another shield. Goes to 3. Do we have another play here?
Possibly. Everything's standing up.
Gonna stand up, stand up. Eager recruit's gonna come home.
Retreat.
And boy, that's the last place you like to see your eager recruits is there at HQ.
That's right.
Nothing like coming in sideways.
They're
to
so
the planet.
zesty. Just let them keep fighting until they're dead.
Yeah, they're eager for a reason.
The
right?
Emperor would approve.
Totally fair.
That's right. All right, there you have it.
And again, Cato doing nothing. A whole lot of nothing.
No fighting at that planet, but a battle ability nonetheless.
Does Ryan trigger here? He chooses.
Is he going to drop something? It's a potential Hail Mary. Does he have?
Chooses not to trigger.
Does he have a big
Dang, and actually he's very
dreadnought
lucky
in
there.
hand? Yeah.
Very lucky they didn't because I believe I saw a couple of beefier units here in Kenny's hand.
Oh, really?
I did.
I would have liked
Robert.
to have seen those.
I saw it.
Ryan, don't spoil it for the rest of us just because you want to win.
And Kenny just full of resources here.
Yes, he is. Look at that.
Winning that exchange for sure.
Woo. Glittering prizes all over the place. That, of course, was a cheat code for Warcraft 2. For those of you who know, I use that many a time just for fun.
That's called cheating.
That's
I
called
didn't
cheating.
do
Not even once?
it. I did it all the time.
Oh, man.
As well.
What was funny is they had a separate cheat code for oil.
They did. You remember what that one was?
Valdez.
Very appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now Ryan's having a look at the win planet here for Kenny, which is the second planet, and he's going to try to not lose this game. I think that's basically his strategy here. Hope that he can maybe keep choking out some cards.
That's right.
And get all those shields out of hand. I don't know.
It's gonna continue to get harder and harder because every turn that goes by, that's that many more chimeras coming into play, and Ryan isn't really narrowing the margins here on resources, which is where he's hurting the most. Say what you will about having a lot of cards, you still need to have things on the field.
That's right. Yeah, not to be overlooked. You know, in a lot of games, cards are far and away more important than resources. And even in Conquest, you would think, well, it gives me shields, which don't cost anything to use, these kinds of things. But I'll tell you what, Space Marines of all the factions really, really need. They have a lot of those 3 cost curve units.
Yep.
They're big events and things, so you gotta have it. You gotta have those that money. That's why Cato is so synergistic with his own faction, and that's why we have seen nothing but problems, because Cato has not been doing a thing.
You're exactly right. Not a thing. He's a warlord in name only.
Siege Force is going to send the rogue trader home.
Man, and he was just about to make a sweet deal, earning all that commission.
Not going to do a whole lot, trying to even up that command struggle.
I don't even know what rogue traders trade.
Rogues.
Rogues. Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Why didn't I think of that?
Need an assassin? Here it is. Here's a Void Pirate. Looking good.
Mm-hmm. He's spending his time drinking.
He's got the right idea, I think. I think Ryan's about to spend his time drinking.
That's right.
Going to Planet 5.
Questionable.
I think he's just trying to get that catch-up battle ability here. I think that's really just what he's looking for. But
this is game point, man.
Well,
not game point.
No, not game point
Right.
yet. But Ken's getting set up for it to be nearly impossible, regardless of resources or cards, to do anything about this. And yeah, that's exactly what you do, by the way. All those guys out there watching, guys and gals, watch this. Look at how many things are going to be at Planet 2.
Yeah, take some notes. This is a guaranteed. And we're already out of the point at which you could do, what is that called? An Exterminatus. But evidently, Space Marine players don't run it.
Not running it. Nope, not running it.
Why would they? They seem to be able to win without it. Except in maybe this case. We'll see.
Yeah, this would be a really nice Exterminatus, to be fair. Very nice. But I didn't even have the resources for it, so,
Doesn't
even
have it.
Who's to say?
Who's to say?
I think we're just watching the old clock tick down here a little bit.
That's right. Just a little bit. And, you know, Ryan's capable of anything. He made it to the top 4 here.
He's a squirrely player. You never know what you're going to get with Ryan.
Extremely squirrely. He's trying to work his way up to prairie dog status, but we'll see how that works out for him.
He's close. We've got 4, count them, 4 planets now won on the left side of the board here to 0. And it's hard to, you have to look at this and say, well, these battle abilities, we've gotten 4 unhindered battle abilities, let alone where the Warlords were not winning those planets.
Yeah.
It's wild, man.
It is extremely wild.
You can't contend with that. It's like...
It's the choke.
It's the choke. It's the choke.
I mean, if you guys ever played Game of Thrones First Edition, Greyjoy choke for a time was the bane of all things.
I don't know anything about that.
Steven never did it. Ooh, a drop pod assault, finally!
Drop pod assault happens.
What we've been waiting for and what could turn this game around if it's something incredibly awesome. Honored Librarian, if we can only hope.
Just a bad pull.
It's
you hate to see the chosen on this.
Yes. Womp womp. You can ping somebody for a point of damage, but is it what you need? Oh, and then it was even shielded, or was it? I don't know. All right, Chosen's dead no matter what.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He's gone.
And now that soon-to-be new, I'm pulling another Honored Librarian. Man, that's the second one being pulled in that fashion. The new first planet is pretty well stacked in Kith.
Look at it.
In Kith's favor. So Ryan has his work cut out for him. Oh, man, a war leader.
War Leader has been the name of this game for Kenny.
Just showing up and icing some dudes. Now, there's only eager recruits there to oppose him. The War Leader could be making some quick work. Oh, man, I missed Cato there.
Yeah, Cato's over there on the board, too. So
way down there.
And he's going to be bloodied here. There's just no way around it.
You are exactly right. That is a terrifying prospect when you really think about it, that guy can just pop in there and ice ya.
Yeah, Kenny basically using these war leaders as just super beefy, eager recruits, and he has the ability to do this because he's up so many resources.
He's got the cash.
And Clavets could stay there or not.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan's going to get, both players choosing to stay, they're going to get a shield 1. That's going to mean the eager recruit's going to take 3. I think he's going to clear at least 1 of these out, maybe 2.
Boom. Now reset. Who's going to win this battle?
Yeah, this is an exciting little off-planet battle here.
Is there a 2 shield? That's all we need. Oh, man, getting routed with a terror.
So that's going to allow him to control this battle ability. I think he was playing for that.
And, man, what an effective use of a card. He bloodies a warlord and then seizes control from what would have been and looked like an unopposed planet. That is impressive.
Just very impressive, and this prevents the if you control fewer units, draw 3 or gain 3 ability. Ryan's really only chance at getting back in this game. Incredible play from Kenny. You got to give it to him. He has locked Ryan out of this game, and this one is one for the history books. There's no doubt in my mind.
Another one of these clinics, so to speak.
It is very much a clinic, yep.
One more clinic. Ryan with an empty board, hard to look at that. Very frustrating as a player. I've been there.
Nothing to be done here.
Yes,
nothing to be done.
But he's playing it out as gentlemen do. Oddly, in the 40th millennium,
I kind of like the gentleman's retreat.
Gentleman's retreat.
It's like I get it. We don't need to waste any more time here. I'm out of this galaxy. I'm out of this sector.
I'm leaving.
You'll never see me again.
I'm going home.
Now, do you happen to know, does Traxxas, the Traxxas sector itself, do we have Warhammer 40k occurring anywhere outside of the Traxxas sector?
Oh, you better believe it.
Okay.
It's an entire universe of just hellacious combat.
I appreciate your knowledge on that. You're a bit more of an old school historian on these universes.
Yes, in real and fictional universes, I might know something.
And there's, hey, look at Exterminatus.
Oh, Exterminatus. Where did that come from?
It went nowhere. Ryan looks like he just drew it. And so he did have a reset button. Man, if he'd have drawn that earlier, that could have been an interesting game there.
Could have really turned some things around. But this one, going to Kenny here.
Kenny, the unopposed winner here. So he's going to go to the finals, and we're going to see you guys there. Join us. Thank you guys so much for watching. And you know what? Keep playing Conquest.
Do that.
It's fantastic.
And check out our war tokens.
Yes.
And subscribe. Subscribe.
Do it all.
Do everything.
We love it.
Support us, please. And thank you.